Now I gotta remember what I was doing.
I wasn't sure if that was you or not. Like I went to the spot on the map it said to go to, and I got attacked by a gold monster like immediately. But I think that gold monster was like teleporting me to different spots on the map. It was very confusing. Well, that's fun. In case you were wondering, the word night is blocked by the profanity filter.
This is not a time for mourning. This is a time to dry our tears and draw our weapons. There can be no pity for the pitiless, save redemption for those that seek it.
My dearest Heydrich, do not feel despair, my love. You did everything you could. Our time together meant more than words can say. But in the end, fate is a cruel mistress. Your strength is needed to end the horrors that beset this world. My final wish is that you find your path. Love always. Mira.
Oh, I got a blessing. That's hot. You have antlers.
An interesting opponent.
I mean, that wouldn't be the reason. I just pre-ordered Fiction last week.
Oh, nice.
I could never get into 3. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't find the enjoyment in it.
I definitely didn't like it as much. It was super repetitive. Or it is super repetitive. The DLC or whatever, the expansion for it is pretty cool, but...
Yeah, this game is definitely designed to be super repetitive, though.
My account got hacked. They sold all my items in World of Warcraft and then farmed in Diablo 3. I had this,
Nice of them.
yeah, I had this max level witch doctor out of nowhere, and like, I mean, there was nothing left in my stash, but whatever.
You probably had more gold than you did before.
Didn't have gold, but I had like gems and stuff.
Oh, that's poop.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Nick got hacked and he had a bunch of old mats that were basically worthless.
Playing 2 with some mods back in like January, but once they announced Resurrection, I just kind of stopped. Figured I would probably get tired of playing and didn't want to spoil the new one.
Right. Yeah, I was playing the regular D2 for a while. It was one of the games I could run on my Mac.
Are you in Elmira still?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm supposed to be moving into my mother's house if she ever asks her tenants to move out. So that's pretty exciting.
Oh, on Gray?
Yeah.
Nice.
The world can abide you no longer.
I don't know if it's exciting to move into a house on Gray Street.
It's
I
West
mean,
Gray.
Yes, it's not like Goodyear Tire Gray Street.
What is it, like Audrey Townsend Gray Street?
Yeah, basically same block. Yeah. I had such a weird interaction with her in Georgia when I lived there, and her mom moved down there, and I like picked her up to hang out, and she's like, "Oh, can we stop at this gas station?" And she stole a bunch of Four Locos and slammed them in a park. And then when I brought her home, her mom was like, "You let her drink?" And I was like, "Well, she's an adult. I'm not going to tell her not to." And apparently she had just gotten out of rehab and all this shit. I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, she was a raging alcoholic.
And that's the one thing I never really did growing up. Like, my mom let us smoke in my bedroom, and she was like, "Well, as long as you guys don't bring alcohol into my house." Which was kind of risky because she was a teacher.
Funny, because my mom was okay with drinking as long as you didn't try and drive and you called her to come get you no matter what.
Yeah, there can be a level of responsibility to it, but I mean, even as adults still find a hard time being responsible with that shit.
I feel like that's one of those things where when you're an adult and you're doing it, you're making a decision to not be responsible. Yeah. To not have anything in place for yourself, especially nowadays with how easily accessible rides and everything are. You're just like, no, I'm not gonna pay someone $18 so that I don't get run into somebody and kill them.
WoW kick again for
I
still
played
have
Classic. Classic was pretty fun. I got the authentic experience of joining a guild with a sociopathic guild leader.
yeah.
Minus 40 de KP. Many whelps. Handle it.
I was playing a backstab rogue, and I was always topping the damage. And there was like one fight where I had my daughter on a night that I normally wouldn't have, and it was raid night. So I was like, all right, I can swing this, and I was like AFK for like 20 seconds in a fight, and he like never let it down.
Not enough.
Yeah, my brother found out that he had a kid, and one of their like two raid nights a week was on like Saturday, and he's like, I only have weekend visitation with my son, so I can't, you know, I can't be there on Saturdays. So they threw him to sub. So when he would show up, he was never guaranteed a spot anymore.
It's kind of crappy.
And then when he would show up, it ended up being like, because like one or two other people ended up having issues too, so they made it like the backup run. So he's like, so every time I log on, it's always alts and all this other shit. He goes, I don't know what I did to get treated like this, but he's like, so I'm basically done. He started playing Classic and gave up on regular.
Yeah, I pre-ordered Shadowlands and everything, but I don't know, I have such a love-hate relationship with that game.
The story's kind of poop.
Shadowlands story?
Yeah. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I just remember like the like the sneak peek where Sylvanas does the thing, the Crown of Destruction, whatever it's called.
The Helmet of Domination.
Helmet of Domination, that's right.
Where she rips it in half.
Yep. She used to be one of my favorites, and I just don't like what they did with her.
Yeah, considering when she was created, she was like a super reluctant bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's like the queen of the bad people.
Queen of the baddies.
I don't want to be a bad guy, but Earth has killed me. But now all I care about is
To me, you beasts! Let none touch me!
I think Blizzard did a good job with Heroes of the Storm. I find that game very enjoyable.
You mean Dota?
I'm a WoW Dota fan. I don't like League that much, though.
Nick, you like ran straight past all of this stuff, bro.
Stuff.
Is eating rice bad in DayZ?
No.
Is it poison?
It says it does make you thirsty.
The night embraces you.
So it's like crackers.
Yeah. It says you can boil it, but I don't think you really can. I don't know if you can cook it or not. They may have patched that in by now.
I mean, it's been a few years since the game came out. Maybe they patched it, right?
Well, they've been patching very, very, very slowly, and they closed. I think Bohemia anyway closed most of their studios or whatever.
Oh, that's weird. These bat nests are giant bats. So I actually have an idea. Who is McFeely?
Decay and
It's Deneliot.
Now I know who
I
it is.
understand so much more now.
Because Dave messaged me yesterday. He goes, I don't think that's Joe. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, Nick invited me because I had a bunch of DayZ questions for him.
There's a lot of people who like that game. I could not get into it.
I'll tell you what, like this week is probably the 4th or 5th time that I gave it another shot, and I'm actually having fun. But before it was just so, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty intuitive with video games, and I just had no idea what to do, what to look for, that kind of thing. So I just watched a couple like tips and tricks videos, and the gunplay seems pretty fun.
Oh yeah, it is for sure. The firefights and everything.
Yeah, I've always been, when it comes to games, I've always been like super, like anti, like learning curve. I don't know why. I have trouble getting into games where you have to spend time learning how to play the game efficiently so that you can try and actually play the game.
Yeah, they don't really tell you much about it.
So like if I throw a game in, like that's why I might be able to play like the Souls series. And
Oh,
stuff
they're
like
great too. Like Bloodborne is awesome.
My essence is healing.
But all I see about it is how it's a game designed to be difficult, and
It's not really. It just was difficult for the games at the time where it was all just like very linear and there was no like punishment for doing anything wrong in the game. Like, you know what I mean? It was like hours of gameplay, but nothing was challenging. You know what I mean? It was pretty much all cinematic and, you know, straightforward. But in Dark Souls or whatever, Bloodborne and all that shit, you just got to know when to fucking block, parry, or attack. You know what I mean? It's like a sword fight. The bosses are a bit more difficult, but I really like those shits. And also, you played DayZ on PS4, so like that was behind in patches like as it is, and it didn't work at all. But it's a lot easier and more fun to play on PC for sure. Looks better too.
you don't tell me my business, devil woman.
Dude, that's why we all got PCs, because we couldn't stand playing DayZ on the fucking shit anymore. PS4.
I already had a PC.
Well, fucking Joe and I anyway.
David been talking about it basically since we stopped playing shooters. He just kept talking about how he was thinking about getting a PC again. I'm like, instead of talking about it, why don't you just fucking...
He had a decent one too. He never used it. Ha 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 ha. I got some things for you. It's a rare staff.
How rare is your staff? Oh, apparently there's a brawler here, huh? I'm so confused.
I think you'd like Rust, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you like DayZ, Rust is basically the same shit, is it not?
It's a little less
more
on the like realism
Minecraft.
side. Well, it's not you can't really interact with terrain like you can in Minecraft. 7 Days to Die is like that, where you can just dig a hole in the ground and build a base
Yeah, I
or
got
something
that.
like
That's kind of a weird game. I liked it, but it was, I don't know, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's
Wasn't
definitely not
polished
everyone's
enough.
cup of tea. It's still in alpha, yeah. They're on alpha 19 now.
That's not real life. You can't have that many alphas. Alpha is step 1.
I hear chicken. Same concept, really. You spawn on the beach with a rock and a torch, and you're naked.
You play the forest ever? At all?
I played it with James a little bit, but I never really put that much time into it. I probably have a couple hours played on Steam. I'd be down to play it again, though.
Nick, that was a beautiful rendition, by the way.
What happened?
You were singing the Game of Thrones anthem.
First one was better.
Yeah, that second one wasn't as good, but that's okay.
At least I'll always have that song. I can forget about the last season, but
So disappointing.
yeah. I didn't watch the Game of Thrones at all until they were like, it's the final, final season. I caught up all the way, and I watched the last episode the week it dropped, and I was like, man, it was like cramming for all that stuff, and it's like, I put more work in watching it than Dave did writing it. I didn't really like. I could have gotten down with the repetitiveness of D3. I don't think I really like the direction of the graphics or like the art style. I mean,
Ew, you don't say it.
kind of turned me off.
Well, I'm glad it didn't give you a raging mega boner.
Gotta call the Viagra hotline. How many pills did you take? None. I just got this boner.
Help me! Ma'am, can you please come fix it? What do you want me to do?
Just touch it through my pants.
Fix it! Bring out your dad. Bring out your dad.
I keep forgetting you can take gems out of items now and stuff, and I'm always sitting there like, oh, do I want to use this?
I'm not dead. Yes, you are.
You'll be stone dead in a moment. I feel happy!
I'd like to go for a walk.
Nick, you cleared the map out so nicely by walking straight down the street. I saw a t-shirt on some website. It was like, "We were the knights who said neat." And it was like one of them, but with like a crazy long.
No, it's me.
And then I saw another one that was like, "We were knights until we took an arrow to the."
Nice. I showed that to Vince like a year or two ago, and I was like, "This is such a good." It was like family movie night. I made the whole family watch it, and I was expecting, like, I know Caitlin doesn't really get it because it's old and it's British humor, and it's just not something not a lot of people understand or can appreciate. And Vince the whole time was cracking up laughing. He thought it was hilarious the whole time. Yeah, I didn't expect that. He still tells me to bring him the shrubbery.
Treasure Goblin! They call me Tim. Use the holy hand grenade.
What affects my max stamina?
Your capacity, your encumbrance.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
It took me a long time to figure out because we were always sick. We just figured it was part of being sick. No, it was just we had radiators in our backpack and shit like that. We used to hoard everything too, and then until one day, crew came by and cleaned us out, and we were like, "Oh, well, guess we just did that for weeks for them."
Very nice
Right.
of you. Like the time my guy was half dead from thirst, and then I drank gasoline.
Yeah, I saw that ad for the D2's Resurrection. I kind of forgot about it. I figured it originally when I heard about it. I'm like, I'll just play the original, you know. I don't. And then I saw the ad, and I'm like, ooh, shit! I'm probably gonna have to buy that. It's exciting.
That does sound exactly like you, though. Oh, the new version. I'll play the old one. Like that sounds exactly like what you would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I watched that video that you sent me this morning, and
Oh yeah.
I found it very, very humorous and entertaining.
Nice, man. Thank you. And that stuff really just made itself. Like, you could clip everything that happened, like just hit the options button and it would save like everything immediately. And so much bullshit and funny stuff happened. Like it was so easy just to compile it all together.
Like the who puts their pants on the table bit. Bill Clinton.
This will be a challenge.
Aw, teddy bear.
It will encumber you. Leave it.
You could put things in it. Like your drugs.
Yeah, like what, Nick?
My vitamins.
What do you do with this box? Well, you could put your drugs in it. There's
Good
African,
old drugs.
this is an African tribal box. Country of Zimbabwe. Oh yeah? What do you do with it? Well, you can put your drugs in it. It's an SNL skit, sorry. A lot of dead villagers outside of this house.
Oh boy.
Decay and rot.
Sounds like somebody found some zombies.
Nope. Wolves.
Oh damn. We'll
Worse.
get you.
Uh-oh. Found an epic thing in a fire. Oh, it's a bone.
Unstoppable. No
Weird.
mortal could slaughter our brethren with such ease.
Well, that's really unfortunate.
Then die
That
well.
is extremely unfortunate.
Did he get killed?
Yeah, there was 3 wolves and then I shot them and then 3 zombies showed up. I only killed 2 of the wolves though.
How rude.
I had so much stuff.
Sometimes running is the best option. Like if you can get into a house or on top of a car, or like like one of those fucking, what do they call it? Barrier box things.
Your arrogance knows no bounds.
It's cheap, but you live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like it's not really an exploit.
Shut up.
I think back when you started playing, Dan, one of the biggest glitches they had was the zombies could run right through. Like you'd shut a door, and the doors weren't physical objects for the zombies. They just run right through it. That'd be some bullshit. A lot of people fucking hate that game, so like either you love it or hate it. Or I guess you could do both at the same time.
You can love to hate it.
That's the best part about it, in my opinion, though. Like the death penalty is so like high.
Gay guy effectively assaulting our chat.
Bring her to me that I may rend the flesh from her bones.
I've used the guns so very little in this game that just now when I had that encounter, you know, I guess I wasn't not comprehending the like raise the gun with the right click and then aim down sights with mouse 3. I'll get there though.
The other trick is to just not use your gun unless you absolutely have to.
They've made that a bigger issue now. Like back in the day, you could probably pop off a few rounds and run, but they're so sensitive to sound now. Like they have it so it's like siphon filter or whatever the fuck Tom Clancy shit. You can go around in your Chuck Taylors and stab people in the back with a butter knife and one hit kill.
I can never find small stones.
You know what? Yeah, they're rare, and it's weird that it's hard to find them. They're on like railroads and paths and shit, like the trails.
Oh, I found one.
And two of those together make a stone knife. I think that's how you do it. If you
Yeah.
combine them.
Two small stones make a stone knife. Well, what does one big stone make? Does it make a machete?
Paperweight.
Oh, that's way less useful.
How could you get any less useful than a paperweight? It's like all the unuseful shit. It's just like that's what like it's the synonym or whatever the. That's just a paperweight now, you know, and like so, if you take that away, what is it?
Just beating up the infected with brooms, no big deal.
Well, I mean, at least other guys can't hear you beating them to death with a broom. Just don't sodomize them afterwards, and it's okay.
Fuck them with the broom.
They get weird when you start doing that. My zombie puppet.
Nick, do you have 2 kids?
Yes.
How old are they now?
Vince will be 7 July 31st. Evelyn turned 3 April 20th.
Nice.
Yes, he's done. Great birthday.
Hell yeah.
It's Dan Nerney's birthday. Have you had an issue with cursing at all?
Yeah. I have a terrible mouth. But it's not like Vince is, you know, he's almost 7. He doesn't curse. It's not like he knows it's but like as a toddler, Evelyn she realized that she was saying fuck instead of fork, and now she does it to get her eyes out of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes like Caitlin will say, "Oh fuck," you know, if she, you know, that's her like go-to if she drops something. So it gets repeated, but it's not really like something we have to deal with. We're just like, hey, don't say that, and then it's kind of done there. Even though like I kind of speak freely around my kids, not around like my nieces and nephews and shit, but like
Sure.
in my own home, I just talk how I talk. I try and get a little better with it, but it's a hard habit to break.
Yeah, like I can count on one hand how many times I've sworn in front of Lucia, but like her mom has sworn more times than like one, like visitation drop off than I have the entire time I've been a parent.
Yeah. Like, I think one part of it was with Vince anyway. He goes to school and none of those kids are like, acting like that or swearing or like, so he kind of sees that example. But I know it's been a while since he's been in school, so once in a while he'll think it's cute to flip me off.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't know. He does it just. You'd think he caught me doing it because I do it to like my friends and shit. So I have had to talk to him about that a couple times, but he hasn't really done it to anyone else. He just does it to me.
He also laughs about it, like he's not doing it
right.
like
Yeah.
as a real fuck you. He thinks it's
he
funny.
doesn't even know what he just knows that he's not supposed to do it, and he's like, hey, I'm being naughty.
And all of Dad's friends laugh when I do it.
Yeah. That's probably why he does it. Is he just gets a rise out of it. If we didn't react to it, he probably wouldn't do it.
Well, that's not fair because it's hilarious.
She does it when she's upset, and it's directed towards me.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I gonna do other than tell her that she can't say those kind of things? And
they're like, oh yeah, watch this.
like, I've taken away privileges, but that only works so much.
I had a real hard time because I was doing homeschooling. That was just like the most painful shit in the world. And I had a hard time just getting Vince to be able to focus and commit to doing his shit because he was good. He learned everything, but just to keep doing the practice work and shit. He'd have his iPad and do a little bit of math, and all of a sudden I catch him on fucking YouTube. So I had to take away YouTube, and he'd be like, "I know how to download that."
Just being honest with you.
Yeah. So then, we had to put on. You can do time, like password timers and shit.
Parental control.
Yeah.
Lock that shit up.
I'm like, I don't even know how to use this thing, and this guy knows how to, and he talks to Siri on it and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I like her in my house, but he's like, she's my personal assistant. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's what the iPad literally tells him.
Yeah. And I think it's good. It's good for. It's not good that he missed out on all this, like official, schooling and shit. But to have these kind of tools to learn with, it's pretty amazing. Like if every kid had like an iPad back in the day when we were going to school, it would have been a different.
There's pluses and minuses.
It's crazy to reflect on the fact that computers weren't really in homes until the early 2000s.
Right.
Nick's like, yes they were. My house was land up in 1996. It used to be the best part of going to Nick's house for Boy Scouts. Saturday mornings. Because after like 2 hours of doing something, it was, okay, let's go play Quake now. Grappling hook and rocket launcher each other to death.
We would get our work in on fucking some merit badges though.
We always got like one every Saturday. Like you, me, Brian, and Henry.
Can you say show me the loot? Yeah, good job.
Can you say show me the loot? Nope.
Show me the root. Oh, you weren't talking to me.
Say, can you say show me the loot?
Yeah,
Say it.
that one.
Hi, Abby.
2, 3, 4, 5.
That's good. Don't talk to strangers.
I got my headphones on. Yeah, if she
It's okay.
wants something. Show him what you want to put on.
He's like, I don't like him. Don't make me do it.
No, honey. Come on.
How did you let John Dodd trap you as he did?
Excuse me, sir. I need you to repair my things. Oh.
Ah, I swore an oath.
Oh, you want to play Garage Band? Okay.
Why don't you learn how to play an instrument? Play in a real band.
I don't know what you did. Alright, go on. She's a natural, dude. Okay. What is it? Yes, me lord.
Yes, me lord. Okay.
Am I using Grim Scythe? I am not using Grim Scythe.
This guy doesn't want to buy this foot. Or his shin bone. Why the fuck not? It's freaking rude, okay?
I'm 37. I'm not old.
You'll stop stealing after a point. Well, anything is possible. Funny, the stuff you get allows me to basically upgrade my enchanter.
Nice.
The Order would never forgive me for falling in with a thief.
I bet they don't forgive a lot of things. And anyway, no one said you had to like me.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that.
No one pudding.
I have some new items that I'm certain you will love.
Sir, don't say it. You were right.
Right, or is that wrong?
Poor Leah. She's done so much for us, and she's lost her entire family.
She's strong. She will move on, husband. Just like we had to.
Someone's looking for you, Nicholas. Literally, your son just walked into the chat.
He just got yelled at. Vince just got in trouble. Speaking of ill behavior, chicken and macaroni.
Shut up, dog. Uh-huh.
getting good.
I have some new items that I'm certain you will love.
Some new items.
That's a lot of zombies. Is the DLC worth it for this?
You mean like the new maps?
Yeah.
Livonia. I'd say no. It's smaller, so your chances of getting like another human interaction are higher.
Well, that could be good and bad.
Yeah, and you have it's like more farmland too, so you get in more like forest and forest shootouts and sniping across the land and whatever.
What do you even use a power generator for in this game?
You can use it to power lights,
To serve my order,
like the floodlights or whatever.
you sound disappointed.
My wish is to be incredibly wealthy and surrounded
What
by
else would you use it
beautiful
for?
women. Yours is simply lacking by comparison.
I don't know, whatever you need power for, that's how you get it.
For show.
Oh, you can charge your battery chargers with them too. So if like you have a battery charger for your car, you can charge with that.
Sick. What can you do with netting early on?
I think you use that to make camo nets, maybe. Let's see. Oh, if you have wire and netting, you can make a trap. And if you have burlap, I think, yeah, the burlap strips, you can make certain, like you can make gillies with that in the netting.
Really? Just burlap strips and netting?
Yep. It's like two strips and netting for a hood, and then more for like the bigger pieces.